Hello, and welcome everyone. I'm Jessica Jacobson, editor of Beverage Industry, and today we have a special video interview with Steve Fink, Vice President of Marketing at PLT Health Solutions, to discuss mood in the sports and active nutrition market. Thank you for joining me today, Steve.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. Well, to begin, I wanted to ask that when it comes to sports nutrition, how much is mental energy being considered by consumers today?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've really been on the forefront of focusing in this area. I think when you really step back a little bit and you think, what does mental energy mean, and what does it mean in the context of active nutrition or sports? I think you can relate to when you're trying to focus on an activity, you can get fatigued. You have to make critical decisions. You have to have discipline. You need to be able to have reaction time. A lot of these things are functionally tied to performance in sports. And when your mental agility or your general overall mood, if you're not feeling at the peak of your mood, your performance can slip. And so in this context, we've actually been seeing an evolution towards a really big focus in these areas for some time. But I think we're still in the beginning of understanding, what does mental energy look like? What does mental performance look like? But when you look at all of those cognitive performance precepts and you look at attention and mental speed and just the general flexibility, it all starts to come into focus as well. Being able to have that approach. We've been seeing these cognitive demands really rising and rising and rising, and you're starting to see a lot of the formulations that have been the best sellers in the space really have that pillar of performance ratcheted in or bolted on.
Awesome. And from what you've seen, what are some of the top reasons that consumers are using mental health products in association with physical performance?
Yeah, you're really seeing in some of this I alluded to, sometimes in a competitive environment or even in just an overall active lifestyle, you have to make a lot of decisions. You've got to make them quickly. You've got to make, how you sustain your attention, how you focus on decisions or approach a competitive sport event. These are the things that have become critical. And they're now approaching this with, I want to be able to maintain my attention. I want to be able to sustain an exercise that I'm in without getting fatigued. I want to reduce the feeling of tension that I have. Even you go to an interview like this, you could argue that this requires some level of mental performance. So just if you're wanting to think faster, you want to be able to process information better. These are the areas that consumers are focusing on, and they're turning to solutions and supplement brands that can help them experience these benefits and hopefully experience them quickly, which is something that PLT and our innovation partners really focus on bringing to the table.
Awesome. And with this trend, what modes of delivery are active consumers turning to in support of mental energy?
So we've obviously seen, and you probably see it as well, just the incredible seismic growth of RTDs and beverages. That's obviously probably because of a convenience factor, one of the number one go-tos, but we see a lot, and this has been over a course of number of years. You're seeing it in gummies, chews, kind of ready to mix, whether that's in stick packs or scoops. Obviously, being able to just kind of mix and go or prepare and put it in an easy shake delivery system, which means that sensory is going to come into play for all of these. So you need to be able to give these cognitive benefits and mood benefits, but also do it in a pleasing way that's convenient, so consumers don't have to spend a lot of time ingesting it or taking it.
Right. Well, and to close out our conversation, do you anticipate that mood energy is going to become a bigger focus in the beverage market in the years to come?
I do, particularly if you can bring science-backed solutions to the table and consumers can read labels and understand this is the kind of benefit package that I'm getting. They're getting more savvy, so they're getting more selective on what they choose to drink or eat or consume. And so as long as you can provide an experience that they can feel quickly, results that are imparting all those benefits we talked about, but also giving the consumer the trust that this is going to be good for me and it's backed by science. I think we're really scratching the surface. So I think we're at the beginning of what's going to be a pretty great ride.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Steve, so much for taking the time to discuss all this interesting information on mental energy in active nutrition.
Thank you so much.
And for more insights on the beverage market, visit www.bevindustry.com for articles, videos, podcasts, and more.